Hello there, good afternoon and welcome to Football Domain on your number one online television channel, CTV. I am your host, Wisdom Chimoba, here to serve you all the updates coming from the world of football. Well, yesterday, so many games went down in the world of football, talking from the Champions League to the EFL Cup, in fact, to the La Liga. It was games galore yesterday, and in fact, goals to be precise. So this and a whole lot more we'll be talking about on today's show. So do well to stay tuned, because we'll be back in a bit. Alright, Lagos, once again, welcome back. You're still listening to Football Domain on your number one online television channel, CTV, and you're listening to the voice of the one and only Wisdom Chimoba, popularly known as the Principal Thing. Yes, I am here to serve you all the updates coming from the world of football. Like I said before we went on the break, there were so many games that went down yesterday. In fact, the ones making the headline are the likes of Manchester United, who smashed Barnsley by 7-0 in the EFL Cup, and then FC Bayern Munchen, Harry Kane and Vincent Kompany, his boys doing their things. They smashed last season. Rashford had a very bad form. In fact, they were questioned, why smashing Barnsley 7-0 yesterday. Rashford got 2 goals and an assist for himself, making that 3 goals in 2 games for him as a Manchester United player this season compared to last season. And then for Alejandro Garnacho as well, that young man has been impressive, really. I have to put it out there. 7 goals and assists in just 4 starts this season for him. That is gotten 4 goals and 3 assists just this season for Alejandro Garnacho in 4 games. That is absolutely mind-blowing. Christian Eriksen also got on the score sheet for Manchester United yesterday. He scored 2 goals after also having an assist for himself. And then Anthony, yes, Manchester United's Anthony, the £100 million pound winger, also was on the score sheet. He converted from the penalty spot to give Manchester United, a 7-0 advantage. Yes, so that was how it went down for Manchester. Some games actually went down yesterday as well in the EFL Cup. It wasn't just United, but it's Manchester United. United have to be the central, talking point of the day. But let me just give you a rundown of the games that went down yesterday. We saw some interesting games, apart from United's game, that was making the headlines because of United scoring 7. A certain game that is between Preston North End and Fulham. Now, that game was a very interesting one. Why am I saying so? That game ended 1-0 and then went straight to penalty, and that penalty ended 16-15. Crazy, right? 16-15 in favor of Preston North End, and that was how Marco Silva and Fulham got knocked out of the EFL Cup. Well, for those of you that don't know what the EFL Cup is, it is the Carabao Cup. That is another name for it. Some call it the League Cup, some call it the EFL Cup, some call it the Carabao Cup. But it is what it is. Yeah, so Preston North End, knocked out Fulham after, the game ended 1-0 and went straight to penalty, and they won 16-15. That game was actually mesmerizing when it came to the penalty kick-outs. No one was willing to lose, but at the end of the day, football is a game where one has to lose and one has to win. And Preston North End were the team smiling at the end of the penalty kick out. Well, Crystal Palace also got the better of QPR. That game ended 2-1 in favor of Crystal Palace. And then we also saw Southampton and Everton. That game ended 1-0 and went straight to penalties, with Southampton coming out, the team with the smiles after that game. Yes, Southampton got the better of Everton via penalties, and they made it through to the next round. We also saw Blackpool lose to Sheffield Wednesday. Yes, Blackpool lost to Sheffield Wednesday by 1-0. Stoke City and Fleetwood, that game also ended 1-0 and went to penalties as well. So many penalties went down yesterday, honestly. So many penalties went down yesterday, while some games, had to wait to till penalty. A certain game in the Champions League gave us about 3 or 4 penalties. We're going to be going there soon, but let me just conclude on the EFL Cup. So Stoke City got the better of Fleetwood via penalties after the game ended 1-0, and finally we saw Brentford defeat Leyton Orient by 3-1. So that was that for the EFL Cup. So we are going to be going straight to the Champions League, but before that we're going to go on a very short break. Once we return, we'll be talking about the Champions League, and I'm going to give you updates on other games that went down from other leagues. Yes, while the Champions League and the EFL Cup was going down, some games were also going down in other leagues. So all of this and a whole lot more we'll be talking about once we come back from the break. Do well to stay tuned. Alright, once again, welcome back. You're still listening to Football Domain on your number 1 online television channel, CTV, and you are in the good company of yours truly, the principal thing, Wisdom Chinwoba. Yes, so before we went on the break, we've been talking about the EFL Cup, that is the Carabao Cup, where Manchester United dominated Barnsley, and some other games also went down. Now we're going straight to the Champions League, where Harry Kane doing what he knows how to do best. Bayern Munich smashing Dynamo Zagreb, forgive my stuttering, by 9-2. That was devilish from Bayern, as you know, they welcomed Dynamo Zagreb at the Allianz. That was a crazy scoreline, 9-2 from Bayern. Harry Kane on the score sheet. In fact, Harry Kane scored 4 goals in that game. 4 goals, yeah, 4 goals for Harry Kane in that game, and this has got me wondering. So Harry Kane now in his last 3 games has gotten 9 goals in all competition. That is talking about from the Nations League, where he notched 2 goals, coming back to the game last week in the Bundesliga where he scored a hat-trick with an assist, and now yesterday he got 4 goals for himself. Harry Kane, that is making a total of 9 goals in just 3 games. And then there's a certain Erling Haaland in the Premier League who's gotten 9 goals in 4 games. And this has got me wondering, I've been thinking about this. Now, you look at how these 2 goal scorers are faring at the start of the season, and I'm wondering to myself, by the end of this season, who do you think is going to be the top scorer when it comes to the entirety of Europe? That is, after all the games have been played, both from the league to the Champions League to the Cups to, in fact, to the national team, games that would probably go down later, the international games that would go down later. At the end of everything, when it's all said and done, who are you tipping to win the Golden Boot? Who are you tipping to be the top scorer? You can do well to leave, your thoughts for us in the comment section. We are streaming live right now on YouTube as well as Facebook. CTV Live, that is the handle. You can do well to drop your comments. Tell me what you think. Erling Haaland or Harry Kane, who would finish as the top scorer this season in Europe? Or do you think there's a certain Kylian Mbappe who might catch up, or Marcus Rashford who has found his form? Who do you think is going to be the top scorer in Europe this season? You can do well to leave that thought for us in the comment section. Okay, so like I said, Harry Kane scored 4 goals yesterday. Not just Harry Kane, in fact, Michael Olise got a brace for himself. Leon Goretzka and Leroy Sané and Rafael Guerrero, all of these players also got on the score sheet for FC Bayern Munich, and then Petkovic and Ogiwara was on the score sheet for Dynamo Zagreb as that game ended 9-2 in favor of Bayern. We also saw Juventus defeat PSV Eindhoven by 3-1. Yes, Juventus got the better of PSV by 3-1, and then Young Boys lost at home to Aston Villa. Unai Emery's Aston Villa in the Champions League, making their debut after a very long while, and Unai Emery and his boys doing what they know how to do best, scoring goals for fun. They smashed Young Boys by 3-0, and AC Milan lost to Liverpool. That was another game that was interesting yesterday. AC Milan actually took the lead through Christian Pulisic, but they later felt like a pack of cards as Liverpool grew into the game, and the likes of Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate on the score sheet, and Dominic Szoboszlai coming off the bench to make a 3-1 for Liverpool, and that game ended in favor of Liverpool. And Stuttgart lost to Real Madrid. Stuttgart, they really gave a good account of themselves yesterday. In fact, they came into that game to grab it by the scruff of the neck, but they were just unfortunate. When you are playing against Real Madrid, hey, you need to keep fighting till the ref blows the final whistle. But Stuttgart, beg your pardon, they ran out of gas as Real Madrid, grew into the game. Kylian Mbappe on the score sheet, as well as Endrick, who just got married, or who announced, that he got married this week. Yes, Hendrick scored a golazo. That is the best way to describe that goal. About 25-30 yards out, Hendrick scoring a beautiful goal for Real Madrid, and then Antonio Rudiger as well on the score sheet. That game ended 3-1 in favor of Real Madrid after Dennis Undav got the equalizer for Stuttgart. And the final game that went down in the Champions League yesterday was Sporting CP, who got the better of Lille by 2-0. Yes, that game became a bit fluid for Sporting CP after Angel Gomez got sent off in that game. Yeah, so that was how it went down in the UEFA Champions League. So we have some games that will also be going down today. Yes, talking about the Champions League as well as the EFL Cup. Before we conclude today's show, I'm going to be giving you a rundown of all of those fixtures. But before that, the games also went down in the La Liga. It was Mallorca who defeated Real Sociedad by 1-0. That was a surprising one, but it ended 1-0 in favor of Mallorca. It was a penalty converted by Abdon Prats. Yes, Abdon Prats in the 36th minute in favor of Mallorca to get the better of Real Sociedad. And then in the Dutch Eredivisie, we saw FC Twente defeat SC Heerenveen by 2-0. In the Super League as well, talking about Turkey, Galatasaray got the better of Gaziantep by 3-1. Yes, Victor Osimhen wasn't part of that game. He wasn't part of the squad at all for that game, but they got the better of Gaziantep by 3-1. And then in the Belgian Pro League, it was Anderlecht who lost to Genk by 2-0. So that is that for all of the games that went down yesterday. In fact, even in the Saudi League, some games also went down, but that is not our focus for today. I will be giving you the games that will be going down today in a bit, so you can know what to do. For those of you that are into the white paper things, you can do well to do your thing, but hey, do it wisely. Ensure that whatever you're doing is with money that you can afford to lose, and if you get to make something out of it, you get to smile. But don't play with your last card, and well, it is, but I'm gonna leave that for you to decide. Okay, so we've got some games going down today. From the La Liga first, before we talk about the Champions League and the EFL Cup. La Liga again would go down today. It is Real Betis who would take on Getafe. That game would go down by 6 p.m. today. Real Betis would take on Getafe. And then in the Dutch Eredivisie, would see Ajax take on Fortuna Sittard. That game would also go down today by 7 p.m. And then going over to the Turkish Super League, where Samsunspor would take on Istanbul Başakşehir. That game would also go down today. So let's go on this quick break. Once we return, we'll be concluding with games coming from the Champions League as well as the EFL Cup today, and what your prediction would be. I would be expecting you to drop that in the comment section. We're streaming live on CTV. Yes, that is the handle, CTV Live on YouTube as well as Facebook, so you can do well to drop your thoughts in the comment section. Before the end of the show, if it's possible, I'm going to read out some of your comments, so do well to stay tuned because we'll be back in a bit. All right, once again, you're welcome back. This is the final lap of Football Domain on your number one online television channel, CTV. Yes, today has been quite an exciting day. In fact, starting from yesterday, once club football is back, it's all about action and games every day by day. And really, I have to say, yesterday was in fact a memorable one. And I myself, being a United fan, I really enjoyed yesterday. And I also have soft spots, London for the likes of Bayern and Real Madrid. So for me, it was a good day yesterday, and I hope for you out there, yesterday was a good day, and in fact today has been a good day for you. But moving on, we've got some games going down in the Champions League today. We've got Bologna taking on Shakhtar Donetsk today. That game would be by 5:45. Also by 5:45 we'll see Slavia Prague take on RB Salzburg. And then later on by 8 p.m. tonight, 4 games will go down simultaneously. That is talking about Celtic taking on Slovia Bratislava. Yeah, Slovian Bratislava. And then Club Brugge will take on Borussia Dortmund. Manchester City will take on Inter Milan. And Paris Saint-Germain, that is PSG, will take on Girona. Man City versus Inter Milan. That is the fixture of tonight. It is, the Erling Haaland himself, the beast, under Pep Guardiola, will be taking on Inter Milan, where there's a certain Lautaro Martinez who will be hoping to come up clutch tonight for Inter Milan. Yes, so those are the games that will be going down in the Champions League. You can do well to drop your prediction in the comment section and tell me which team is going to come out victorious in tonight's Champions League games and which team are going to be losing. You can do well to leave that in the comment section. And finally, the EFL games, that is talking about the Carabao Cup games. We're going to have a Premier League-like fixture today. That is talking about Brighton and Hove Albion taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Yes, that game will be going down by 7:45 p.m. tonight. Brighton will take on Wolves, and we'll see Coventry City take on Tottenham Hotspur. Of all of the action that will be going down today in the world of football, you can do well to catch all of these games live, on your favorite streaming platforms. Yes, so before we go, breaking news. Yes, today we just got confirmation, yes, that Daniel De Rossi, the head coach of AS Roma, has been sacked. Yes, he has been sacked. He replaced Jose Mourinho 9 months ago when Jose Mourinho was kind of struggling with Roma. They had to sack Mourinho, and they brought in Daniel De Rossi as his replacement. In fact, last season when he came in,